This film tells the story of an art project which began in 2022 in the town of Bacup, one of the most well-preserved mill towns in the UK, which lies in the valley of Rossendale in Lancashire. The art project involved building a Bowtop wagon to highlight how important horses are in the heritage of the town and its surrounding landscape. Until the early 20th century, horses were central to Western culture. In 1900, there were 1 million horses working on farms in the UK, and until the 1930s, horse-drawn vehicles were one of the main modes of transport. But even earlier, from medieval times to the 18th century, pack ponies carried essential supplies to communities linked by steep moorland tracks. In the 19th century, Alice Hartley, or Elsie O'Fusser, worked up to 20 Galway ponies on routes around Bacup, transporting lime and coal from Clitheroe all the way down to Rochdale. Elsie O'Fusser was born in 1806 and died in 1879. She was short, stout, and wore a man's topcoat over her petticoats. She had a young farmer as a lover, and she slept with her beloved donkey, Jerry, tied to her bedpost. In the 1950s, Walter Lloyd worked heavy horses on a farm just south of Bacup, which his family had owned for hundreds of years. He also established a semi-feral herd of fell ponies on nearby moorland known as Hades Hill. The Wellbrow Fell Pony herd, now bred by Andrew and Michelle Thorpe, still roam free on the same common land today. Walter Lloyd had a strong connection with the travelling community. In the late 1970s, he helped to revive a horse fair in the town of Whitworth. Walter Lloyd encouraged the travelling community to camp on his land in Whitworth for a week or so every year for Whitworth Fair. Today, Whitworth Fair no longer takes place, but for a long time it was a stop on the road to Appleby Horse Fair, the largest gathering of travellers in the country. In 1978, the Horse and Bamboo Theatre was founded just north of Bacup in a town called Waterfoot by a small group of artists led by Bob Frith. From 1978 to the early 2000s, the Horse and Bamboo Theatre created numerous horse-drawn shows, which toured around the UK as well as internationally. In 1982, the Horse and Bamboo Theatre Company created a huge wooden horse sculpture on the moors above Whitworth, which was set alight for the finale of Whitworth Fair that year. The story of the giant burning horse became a legendary tale in the travelling community, as for years after, the Horse and Bamboo were often flagged down by people who wanted to talk to them about the burning of the 50-foot wooden horse. In the 1970s, Walter Lloyd was shown how to build a Bowtop wagon by old Joe Cannon. In 1977, he travelled for the first time with horses from Rossendale to Appleby Horse Fair in a wagon that he built himself. From 1986, he lived in a Bowtop all year round in woodland in the Lake District as a travelling charcoal burner and coppice worker. Walter built at least 5 living wagons and slept every night of the year in his own Bowtop until the age of 90. Walter was born in 1924 and died in 2018. In 1999, he published How to Build a Bowtop Wagon, a step-by-step guide. In the summer of 2022, Walter's guide was a vital source of information when building a Bowtop wagon in Bacup to celebrate the important role of horses in the heritage of Rossendale. A dray or flat cart is needed as a base on which to build a Bowtop wagon. Joe Cannon and his horse Sundance pulled a dray from Haywood to Analogue Farm in Whitworth. Then the dray was pulled to Bacup by Guinness the horse and Seamus Whittle, with a little bit of help from his son Thomas and my son Rowan. With the dray in Bacup, the build could begin. The wagon was built by the artist David Chatton Barker, a co-director of Analogue Farm, and Sadie Noble, a musician who lives in Bacup and builds her own musical instruments. With the build complete, the wagon was painted bright red. It was then the job of Becky Miller, an artist from Manchester, to come and decorate the wagon with bespoke designs inspired by Bacup's folklore and heritage. The ancient pack pony routes, the Horse and Bamboo Theatre, Whitworth Fair, Walter Lloyd and all his links to horses and the travelling community were celebrated on the wagon. Elsie O'Fusser is on the left of the wagon door and Walter Lloyd is on the right. On the back of the wagon is the large wooden horse sculpture made by the Horse and Bamboo Theatre that was set alight at Whitworth Fair, as well as a poem written by Emily Oldfield, a poet who grew up in Bacup.
Horse drawn, the lie of the land is the truth of their walk. Pack horses, ponies, colts and foals, a transpennine train before industry sharing their lords. Lime, coal and salt in every weather, then shaping reservoirs, railways, creating a shared past and future we ride through together.
The designs painted on the wagon were inspired by local folklore and heritage, but also the local landscape. So, for example, wimberries which grow on the hills around Bacup, and skylarks that live on the moors. Some more unconventional designs include fluorescent unicorns and UFOs, which were inspired by storytelling workshops that took place in Bacup Town Centre. In summer 2022, a programme of community workshops took place alongside the building of the wagon, led by artists with specialised skills. The sculptor Jill Randall ran family workshops where people made their own model Bowtop wagons. The textile artist Lynn Setrington led embroidery workshops for people to make hand-sewn lucky charms to decorate the wagon. The artist Alistair Price led lino printing workshops to create bunting that decorates the wagon. And yarn artist Helen Davies ran knitting workshops to create a hand-knitted banner which is now on display at Bacup Library. Helen designed the banner featuring the poem written by Emily Oldfield. The artist and fabric designer Sally Guilford facilitated the creation of bespoke printed fabric inspired by horse brasses to line the interior of the wagon. The first time the wagon was shown was at Wagon Tales, an event in Bacup Town Centre, part of Rossendale Art Trail 2022. Joe Cannon and his horse Sundance paraded the wagon around Bacup Town Centre. There was also storytelling and live music from a variety of artists, including Bill Lloyd, Walter Lloyd's son.
Until Rossendale come into view, and the sights we loved so well, and we found ourselves on Bacup top as autumn round us fell. And so we come to Whitter's Fair, and another year is done. So pass the bottle round the fire till the bottle has all gone. Come you lasses and you dealing men, come raise your glasses high, and come drink to the horse and the road and the man, and the life that'll never die. Oh, drink to the horse and the road and the van, and the life that'll never die.
In 2023, the wagon was exhibited at 2 community celebrations thanks to Baylor Barnes and his horse Patsy. The wagon was part of the carnival procession for Waterford Wakes. It was installed in Stubby Park for Bacup and Stackstead's Carnival, where lots of people enjoyed going inside and having their photo taken. In 2024, the Horse and Bamboo Theatre commissioned Raggle Taggle Arts to create a new show inspired by the wagon. Lawrence Marshall and Phoebe Ophelia specialise in community art, outdoor music, theatre and dance. They had direction from Richard O'Neill, an internationally acclaimed performance storyteller, author and playwright. O'Neill was born and brought up in a large traditional, fully nomadic Romany Gypsy family. The new show was performed in Bacup Town Centre at this here festival, at the Horse and Bamboo for Waterford Wakes, and at Waterside Arts Centre for Refract Festival. In this project, crafting objects and performing actions became a way to connect with the past and highlight stories in the landscape. These stories entwine tracks worn deep across semi-rural towns, steep valleys marked by industry, and along the tops of moors where semi-feral fell ponies still roam. The project was driven by the idea that horses have played a crucial role in human civilization and hold continued importance in our lives today. The process of celebrating the role of horses combined craft and performance art, as well as the skill of handling horses and wagons on public roads and busy events, which was only made possible thanks to help from the travelling and farming community. So many people and horses made this project come to life, and thanks go out to them all.